Dun, dun, dun.
It's happening.
It's
It's
happening.
happening. I've noticed I will cut people off when I'm talking. And so I'm doing this thing where I'm trying to pay attention to the question.
This is so
And
ADHD.
then
Do you know this?
actually, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Not to give it so intimate right off the bat. When Tanner was proposing,
This is what I want. Perfect.
I talked over him the entire time. He didn't get a single word out. And then like that in that moment, because we watched the video back.
because it's a video. Yeah.
We both were like, we can't show this to anyone. But the whole time I was talking and like the man, he did get the words, "Will you marry me?" out. But that was the only words he did get out because I was talking the whole time.
So, okay. We're just, now that I'm in this, I just need to know what were you saying? Like, tell us first, just the context of the story. So you are recently freshly engaged.
Yes. Okay. So context of the story. We've been together a lifetime, 7 years, which, okay, not a lifetime because people will be like, we've been married 55 years. But it's
a long time.
Feels like a long time.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to happen because we were adults who had conversations of like, do we want to do the whole shebang? And we both agreed to do the whole shebang.
Okay. You were on the same page.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a total shock.
No, not
Okay.
we even went as far as to like look at rings together. And so like I knew it was going to happen because I needed to like micromanage the situation.
We are the same person. It's so painful. Like in the best way, but also like I understand so wholeheartedly all of it. I get it.
Yes.
Continue, please.
So anyway, I assumed it would happen in this year. I didn't know it for a fact, but I was like realistically. And so we were going to New York City, and then also in a few weeks we're going to Hawaii. And
What?
I know. So this new tangent already. Tanner's been to 49 of the 50 states. And so he wanted to go to all 50 states by the time he was 30. He is technically still 30. So we're fitting it in before he turns 31. And I did not participate on many of those travels because he went to small places. No offense, like the Dakotas. I didn't feel like tagging along.
Yeah.
And so he went on many, like a 3-day trip of like hitting up a few states here and there randomly.
And what does he do when he's in those states? Just the hot spots?
I think his requirement is that he just has to like at least eat a meal in that state.
Okay.
Like, so it's not like he doesn't have to spend a whole day, but it's not like if he's at the airport, that doesn't count.
Okay.
Like he needs to actually spend time in
Can't
that
just be passing through.
place. Yes.
Okay.
But like, so I don't know. That's his whole shebang. So anyway, so we're going to Hawaii because it sounds so bougie that we're going to Hawaii, but like,
it is. Embrace it.
This will be the last one. And then I'm like, we're never going to go anywhere for the rest of our lives because he's been to all 50 states and God forbid we go to Canada.
Yeah, that's the worst. It's the worst there.
Just kidding. No, I feel like after he's been to we've been out of the country too. I don't want to like sound like we've never left. But like, I feel like we'll be done with the going to random places.
Okay.
For a while. But yeah, this is the big shebang. We saved it for the end when we could like afford to go to.
Okay, wait. Where am I? How did we get here?
Oh, anyway, I'm sorry. Okay. So, okay, you asked proposal and then
yes.
I jumped all the way to Hawaii. So anyway, we were going to 2 locations and I was like, it's going to happen at one of these locations,
right.
Obviously. And also like in New York City, my little C-store lives there. We were meeting up with all my college friends. All of the stars were aligning. So anyway, the whole
sorry. I'm trying to silence it and I just made it worse.
The whole proposal was just like, I knew my friends were going to be there. So the whole day I was like, and also Tanner was insisting that we go to dinner alone. And I was like,
okay, that's sus.
We're here with my friends. Also, but like Tanner is an independent queen and like he does love like when we're on a group trip, he's very much like, I need alone time. We're going to go off and do our own thing. So I was like, maybe this is just one of his weird, he always had this idea of like, he wanted to go to a fancy dinner in New York. Maybe this is just him living out a fantasy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love that.
But anyway, the whole engagement was me just saying, I knew it was happening. And then like, cause also he set up a video for us to take a photo. In the whole 7 years we've been together, we've probably taken 2 photos.
Okay.
So I was like,
red flag.
You want to
green flag?
Yeah. I was like, you want to take a video? And then I had the biggest our resting
RBF
face.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like looking at the camera, pissed. And then he comes over and he's like, so this isn't a picture. And I was like, I told you to take a video so then we could screenshot pictures. Why would this not be a
immediately irritated that you didn't listen to me?
Why would this ever be a picture? Because he was like, okay, it's on countdown. I was like, why would you do that?
That was really dumb. Oh my God.
And then he was like, okay, this is a video. And I was like, I knew what's happening. This is, and then like he finally got his words out. And then I was like, I knew it again for like a fifth time.
Yeah.
So it's just me saying I knew it.
That's amazing. And like just very relatable. And I definitely think that's an ADHD trait, all of those things, because I know it and I feel it also. And we just jumped right into it was like a cold open, I feel.
Cold open. I'm engaged. Who are you? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
That's
we literally didn't have names.
Story.
It's like, if you don't know who this is, just hang up. I said this yesterday, hang up. If you don't know who this is, just stop listening. No. Okay. So yeah, we are talking with Zoe Ken. If you haven't figured that out yet.
What's up?
Or at Farm with Zoe.
Yeah.
Farm with Zoe. Or what's your email? What was that? It's an inside joke.
Kent Farms.
Kent Farms.
Honestly, it's my link tree. So you know what? Send me an email, whatever.
Send her an email. Anyway, I will. If you're not already following Zoe, I will put her info in the show notes. So don't worry.
Yeah, hit me up.
But you are all over social media, right? I think I found you on TikTok first or Instagram first. I actually think I found you on TikTok first.
I think I started following you on TikTok first, but I don't have any recollection. And then I think when I found you on Instagram, I was like, wait, why am I not following you on here? And why do these apps not just like when you hit follow, they're like, hey, go to all the other, which obviously I understand because they're competing companies.
But still.
But like I need another app, God forbid, another one
don't jinx us.
That when you add someone, they're like, hey, these are all the other platforms.
At least the option.
Yes.
Yeah, because I feel like people have a lot of people have different vibes on different.
Well, that's true. There are some people I would never follow on certain apps because I don't need your opinions on other things.
Right. And or it's like, okay, on TikTok for whatever person, that's enough. But it's like, I feel like if I also follow you somewhere else, that might be too much. I want to wreck that.
Well, and like for me, go ahead. If you feel like following along, if you're intrigued by what you hear and you think, you know what, I need to see what this girl looks like, go to one of the apps. Don't go to all of them because they're all pretty much the same content / I get more chaotic on TikTok.
That's a good way of describing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to not get really chaotic on Instagram at all. It was more like TikTok was the wild, wild west. And then Instagram was more curated. And it still kind of is. Cause like, I like to have the pretty pictures, and TikTok, like people don't appreciate pretty pictures on TikTok. But then like, I think it was this new year, whatever. I was like, I don't give a shit. And I'm going to start treating Instagram like TikTok because I don't care. It's so fun. So it's pretty unhinged both places, but TikTok is definitely more, freeing. I think it feels like you can just like get away with more. You know what I mean?
And also in my head, like when I started my TikTok, I didn't know anyone. And I also very much didn't like tell people I was doing it. Whereas on Instagram, it's the people I know in real life. And I was like, oh, God forbid the people I know in real life see me online. That's horrifying.
I know, that's the worst.
But we had to rip the Band-Aid off and just let them, as if like, I mean, I'm the same person in real life. If you don't like me in real life, you're not going to like me online. If you don't like me online, you're not going to like me in real life.
Exactly. There's the lines. So I kind of did this a little squirrely Dan backwards because I just like to keep people on their toes and never let them guess my next move, which is that I'm not going to introduce my guest, but now I am. So again, we started with a nice heartwarming story, and I think that's more interesting, and whatever, we did that. But who you are, I guess we haven't clarified here that Zoe is in Ohio. We can say Ohio, right?
Yeah.
You're in Ohio.
Go Bucks, if you will.
Go Bucks. Is that what they do?
No. So with the Buckeye, it's a nut. But we just say
it's a nut.
Yeah. So I went to Ohio State. Their mascot is Brutus the Buckeye, and he's a poisonous nut because that's terrifying.
Oh my God. So then it's not an animal?
No, rather than saying like, let's go Buckeyes, which there are definitely cheers that go like that. But like a lot of the time shorthand, it's like, let's go Bucks, which has gotten shortened into like Scobucks.
Scobucks. I want to do this, but that's wrong. Scobucks. Yeah. So Ohio. I've been hanging out in Ohio for a couple days, so I had to make the drive over to Zoe. I'm not going to insinuate any directional hints at all because I'm not going to, somewhere in Ohio. I randomly went somewhere in Ohio and I ended up here conveniently at Kent Farms. So obviously I did do a little research. I mean, I have followed you, but like, you know what I mean? Like it's also, okay, tangent again, because why not? I feel like do you concur as a content creator, do you spend as much time consuming content as you are creating it? Because I do not. I have a hard time doing that. Like I feel like I'm more focused and stressed about like putting my shit out than like I don't take a lot in because, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Or what's your balance like?
Yes. It ebbs and it flows because what I always think will work is like if I'm in a creative rut, which actually luckily I have not been in for a while. If I'm in a creative rut, I'm like, oh, I need to consume videos that will inspire me. But it actually does the opposite because I also like a few times I have like had some videos like copied, which I obviously understand no one has an original idea anymore. Every idea has already been had. It's like they do the exact same words in the exact same place, doing the exact same thing
without crediting,
which like throw me a tag, do everything I do, rip it all off with like one shout out. But like I'm afraid of consuming content and then accidentally forgetting that I saw something and thinking I have an original idea.
That could be what's happening because it's so saturated of
Yes.
Oh, that's true.
But yeah, I do get overwhelmed. But I also like I have like the 2-hour limit set on all of my social media.
Oh, wow.
And then
a day?
Yes.
Wow.
But
that's
like
impressive.
But like sometimes I go over that and then I'm like, oh, I am addicted to this thing.
Yeah. I just straight up like turned off the like screen time app thing that tells you how much because like I don't need that bad energy in my life. So I just don't want to know. You know what I mean? Because it's very time consuming. My point of that is that it's like, I know I follow you, but there's little details that I'm like not 100% sure of. So I just wanted to clarify. I did get a tour today. So a few of my questions already were answered. But this is Kent Farms.
Yeah.
Correct. And you are 8th generation?
Yes.
Grain farmer. Here on Kent Farms. In Ohio.
It's in my blood.
It's in my blood.
My blood is corn and soybeans.
Corn-fed Ohio Gabucks.
My alter ego.
And you share your day-to-day on social media because you are a literal farmer that just decided to start sharing your story. And when did that start? When did you start doing that?
So it was June of 2021. Let's go back.
Oh, let's go back.
June of 2021. We were still in pandemic times, but it wasn't the height of it.
Right.
And I was entering my first wedding back as an attendee. This is really just wedding vibes on this. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. But
wedding bells.
I was at a wedding where a Brutus Buckeye was getting married to a former cheerleader friend.
Okay.
So it's all full circle. Skobucks. And so we were at this wedding and my friend Justin, he is a teacher. And so he's on teacher TikTok. I don't know if you've ever perused that. So back in the day, I like didn't have a big For You page because I didn't scroll a ton. And all the videos I got was teacher TikTok and then dog talk because my sister-in-law has a big dog talk account.
Okay.
And so I had 2 close friends that had like some pretty big success in that because they started back in pandemic times and like when it was quote unquote like easy to gain a following.
Everyone was just on their phone.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sure.
But I was late to the game, but I was sitting at this wedding with my friend Justin and I think I posted like 2 or 3 just like videos here and there and he had seen them and he was like, you need to do this. This needs to be a thing for you. And I took one person telling me I should do something and I went in deep.
You did. You didn't look back.
No. So I started on TikTok and it was like the people that are like, oh, I posted one video and I got 5 billion followers. That's never happened for me. Like,
okay.
I had maybe a few days where I got like 100 followers in one day. And then those days I was like, yeah, let's go. I'm a celebrity.
So more of like a slow burn.
Slow burn.
Steady though, obviously.
Slow burn on the tickety tack.
Tickety tack. Okay,
and then it was a full year. I went to my first influencer event. I'm making it sound so much cooler than it was.
What was it?
It was, so we
did
went.
They go to Dubai with the makeup company?
No, sort of. We went to see beef production
Same thing,
in Texas. So first time in Texas, baby. And it was actually a pretty cool experience. It was 3 farm influencers, and then 3 food bloggers / food content creators. Okay. And the whole idea was that like we were showing them farming and they were showing us eating the food, and it was like showing everyone the whole cycle, and it was like teaching people about agriculture. Cool. And it was good. But this was my first time like talking to other content creators, because me, introvert, I was never gonna like reach out to people and be like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And so like I finally had some creators that like we had time in buses where I could be like, so like, okay, I have this small following here. What am I supposed to do? And they
help me.
Yeah, help me. Help me. Help. I'm scared. I just happened to end up being here. I don't know what I'm doing. But like there was this one girl, Courtney, who like, shout out Courtney. Courtney knows her shit. Like she is a full-time food blogger. Okay. And she was like, look, girl, like your shit's messed up. Like
I did not see it going that way.
Your
shit's messed up. Straight up. Get off the bus.
She was so nice. And like, she is so type A. Like a very organized queen. And she was like, look, because at that time I only had TikTok, and she was like, TikTok could be gone tomorrow. You need to be on other platforms. And I was like, that's not what I wanted to hear. And she was like, get on Instagram, get on the other apps, just post the same things. Like you have to have a backup plan if you want this to be a thing. Because so I like that one trip, like I got paid a tiny bit to be there, which turns out should have like negotiated way differently.
Help.
You know what? But honestly, I feel like, you know, my payment was learning all these things. Like it honestly, it was worth my time. Had they not even paid me to go, should have been paid more. But you know what? You never know. You never know, because why would I know how to negotiate a brand deal? I'm a farmer. Yeah. I'm a farmer. Help me. I only know how to make corn. But so anyway, I went on this trip, and she was like, you need to be on Instagram. So I reluctantly was like, but my friends, my family are going to think I'm a weirdo. And so then I got on there, and then, so we started Harvest of 2022 instead of 2021. And I was like, don't have the mental capacity to actually think of like funny things to post, because my content is like funny / slightly educational / just shove a camera in my dad's face. And
which is chef's kiss.
He's a star. Yeah, but he's a superstar. I was like, okay, I'm going to do it like a vlog style video. Just take the people through harvest season. And that was right when I was starting the Instagram, and I gained 90,000 followers in like 28 days.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
my God.
That was the exact opposite as my experience of the tickety tack.
That's actually insane.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, so that huge influx of people, there was like also a huge outflux. And so then like from there, I've like been treading water / slow burn again, which obviously, because if someone just follows you, they see your page for a week, they're like, okay, I understand it. They're either going to decide they like it or they're going to peace out, which is completely fine. Yep. I say, as I try not to look at analytics, but anyway, and then this year I was like, okay, keep diversifying. Got on Facebook community, toxic. I don't feel safe there. The people are evil, but it's the app that pays like the most for me personally, because you can like monetize the reels or whatever.
I can't, just so you know. I talked about this on my episode with Lacey, that like, I'm so happy for you both. Oh, yeah. I don't get shit anywhere, but please continue. Yeah. I'm so happy for you.
Oh, we can talk offline about this.
Yeah. You guys don't get to hear this. Okay, but so we'll got on the Facebook. But you find that the most toxic?
Oh, so the people that follow me. Oh, so like my videos are like very much like, I don't work risque outfits. It's very clean. It's very much like, take me seriously. Don't see me as a sexualized object. I posted one video where I was pulling down the hood of a tractor, which from the camera, it was, my butt was facing the camera, but it was also very far away. But I think that it was like 6 million people saw that one, and it was all men, and it was all so I think people saw that one video and was like, girl tractor, let's hit on her.
And it brought in this whole other
it brought in this demographic that I was not seeking out.
I'm sorry, what were you like? It was just you existing with a butt.
It was me
doing
existing
something.
with a butt in a sweatshirt and like a full pair of jeans.
It was a full pair of jeans.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
you were like in a bikini.
Apparently the ass is so crazy.
I gotta go find me that video. Shit.
But like I don't know. Like I just like I'm assuming that video popped off. All I was doing was closing that thing. I don't even remember what it was. It wasn't great content. I think it was honestly
that ass.
It was
obviously.
It brought all the boys to the yard, if you will.
Some.
But anyway, just to say, like I do, like I have found people I love like you on these other platforms. Facebook for me is a means to an end. I haven't found a loving audience. I'm not trying to foster a community there. I'm posting my videos on there, not looking at comments.
Right.
So if you want to engage with me, go to a different platform.
Okay, fair. Just kind of existing there, kind of, getting that bag.
Yeah.
I guess because
Some bag, a little bag.
A little bag.
A little bag.
yeah, because why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, so you started on TikTok, Instagram just absolutely popped off, and then we won't talk about
The Book of the Faces.
Yeah, the Book of the Faces, and then you're also similar content going on YouTube. Question mark?
See, okay.
Source. I struck a nerve here.
No, it's just that. So I've never been a YouTube consumer.
Okay.
And so my philosophy was I'm not going to do YouTube because I don't understand YouTube. And then I had some people that were very lovely in my life that were like, get on YouTube. And then I like tried to do it. And then
This feels so boomer energy right now. I just have to say. It's giving boomer a little bit. I don't understand it. I just don't want anything. I don't understand
I know
it. You sound like
it really is
my grandmother. I love it.
It's like, but so what I truly don't understand it in like I think people film sideways and
right.
people edit. And so like my videos are not well curated. It's giving spur of the moment. I think of something that pops into my head. I make a video about it. Whereas I feel like of the 4 YouTube videos I've ever watched in my life, they were like, curated,
more like edited
and it was like, oh, come along with me to do this, and then it's like a transition, and then there's like a montage,
and there's like 7 different songs that come on.
Like I don't, and yeah,
I feel like yes, you've nailed it, but I also feel like that's what I think they're trying to get away from, because I feel like they're trying to be more like TikTok, because I feel like shorts. I only kind of started. I would just like cross post because I don't understand YouTube, but I do not understand Facebook. I do not fuck with Facebook. Yeah. I used to have one when it was like cool. But like I don't have a personal Facebook. I don't know how. I just only exist on there now because same reason, like, okay, we'll get on another platform, but it's just automated. Whenever it goes on Instagram, it goes on Facebook because I can't. I hate this.
Yeah. I guess I also kind of lied. I do have a Facebook. I don't go on it. I'm only friends with my mother and my soon-to-be mother-in-law. And like, but yeah, I only have that because I buy and I sell things on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Just farm equipment. Just
because you can't access it without Facebook.
So
that's right.
I have that, but like I'm not on there. I'm not posting anything there.
Right.
It's not a place for me.
Yeah, that's fair. And then, it's just, I think the thought of another app is so stressful. And then Threads came out and I was like, okay. And I'm like, I pop in once a week now because I'm like, I'm tired.
I just can't spell.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Yeah, I can't spell. And the whole idea is that you have to like write things. And like, I'm not illiterate. Don't get me wrong.
But just not a great speller. I wouldn't have pegged you for that.
Horrific speller.
If it helps.
This is going to sound like a brag, but it's not.
I can't wait.
I was my class valedictorian. Of a whole 91 children.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And so like I was like riding a little bit of a high, being like, I'm the smartest of all of us. But then I went to go look up inspiration for my valedictorian speech, and I tried to type valedictorian into Google, and the way that it literally took me 20 minutes of trying it different ways, and then calling my mom to ask her how to spell it, like that. It brought me right back down to reality.
Like even Google didn't know what you were trying to Google.
Like I'm trying to Google something about me being smart, and I can't even access that.
Poetic. That's poetic, actually. Oh shit, I love that. That's a good one. And I love that you started out like, I don't want to brag, but okay, that was a flex.
Like a little farm school, like
that's so cute. It makes me wonder, like the pool.
No. So more flex. My brother was also the valedictorian of his class. And then, but he had the highest like, ACT scores, like all the testing. He was like the historically smartest class to ever graduate.
Wow.
At that time, like it might be different now because I'm not looking into my high school's test scores.
We're not looking into like bringing up the old records.
But that was 2 years before me. They were breaking records. And then my class came along and we broke the record for the worst test scores ever. So I was the smartest of the dumbest class to ever graduate from my high school at that point.
Which is a flex, though.
It's a weird flex.
It's a weird flex. There's some nuance to that for sure, but that's pretty funny. That is poetry, actually.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's
shout out to my classmates. They were all smarter than me. It was just like my mom was very much like, if you don't, like I remember in third grade, sorry, Mom, I'm going to tell this story, but like in third grade, I got a C in science on like a test. And she was like, your future is ruined. You will never get a job. Your dad won't even hire you to work on the farm. Like education was very, very valued in my house growing up, which served me fantastically. I got a college scholarship. It set me up. I can flex and brag to people that I was the valedictorian.
Right. Rightfully so.
But like, I was very much like, I can take tests and I can pass tests. Like I couldn't tell you a single thing I learned in high school. I'm just a good test taker.
Same exact. Yeah. Like crush it, but then instantly out of my brain. I write it down. Goodbye. It's done. So am I smart? I don't know, but just good at testing, which is, who knows? Is that a flex? I don't know. Yeah. So speaking of education, so 8th generation, so there's always been farming. Is farming something that you always knew you wanted to do?
Yes. And I don't know why. So like growing up, I wanted to make me some cash money, baby. And so I started doing that by mowing the yard, which was actually just a chore that I needed to do. But we got like our little severance of like $1 an hour.
We monetized it.
Yeah, we did. And then I tried to cash rent my brother's half of the yard because he didn't like mowing the yard. And I was like, I want to make that back.
Just an entrepreneur.
And I tried to cash rent it from him. And like, I'm like, oh, I'll just take a percentage of like your money that you would make on it. And I think my parents, Ian and Cody, shut it down. They were like, this isn't about the money.
This is getting out of hand.
This is just chores. But so I started mowing the yard, and then I was like, Dad, get me a job. So I started clipping wheat stubbles, which is essentially just like glamorized mowing. And then I worked my way up like into high school doing that. And like the whole time I was like, I'm making money. But I just truly enjoyed all of the process of doing all the things. I really enjoyed hanging out with my dad. And I was like, I can get paid to hang out with you. You're paying me to hang out with you.
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, all this to say, yes, I always thought I'd be a farmer.
So but then you did go on and do more what post-secondary education did you do?
Yeah. So in the States, we call it college.
Oh, it's not post-secondary. Well, that's still post-secondary, correct? Is that a term you guys use, post-secondary?
I don't know. There's high school, then there's college.
Okay.
But like so Iowa State was university. So it may be university. I don't know.
Okay. So we have colleges and also university, but as a whole, it's just like that is considered just post-secondary education because it's after. Anyway, you have that and you did that?
Yes. So I have a bachelor's degree, whereas like, so my brother is a doctor of birds.
That's so cool.
I don't know. He has a doctorate, but he's not,
yes, correct.
He's not a doctor, but doctorate. My sister has a master's, which means like 6 years of 7. I don't know. Okay. Sorry, siblings. I don't really know you very well. But I only have the 4 years of college, which is like you can get a 2-year degree, but like I got a 4-year degree. So I have a bachelor's degree in ag business. So my parents were like, you can come back to the farm. You have to get a college degree in case you run the farm into the ground and you need to have a backup plan.
Okay, perfect. Smart, responsible.
Yeah. And then also my mom was like, you need to get out of this town. You need to experience life off of the farm.
And did you get out of this town?
Yes. I got a full 1 hour away. Okay. Which was interesting. Like I never pictured myself going there because I would say for the most part, everyone goes to that school or a few other surrounding schools. I was like, I'm going to go somewhere different. But then I decided that I wanted to be a college athlete. So my schools I was picking between were Michigan State and Ohio State and Purdue. And I looked at their requirements to make the cheerleading team because that's what I should base my
yes
things off of. And Michigan State was like a lot of requirements, and I did not meet those requirements.
Like educational requirements?
No. Like you needed to have a standing full. Tumbling. So when you're cheering in college, it's not like the cutesy on the sides. It's like we're throwing you in the air. You're doing flips.
Okay.
So there's stunting, which you hold each other in the air. You make pyramids. Tumbling is the gymnastics element of you need to have these skills, etc. and so forth. So the skills required for Michigan State on paper were a lot, and I did not meet them. I met them for Ohio State. Purdue, you know what? I never even ended
Where
up
the
touring.
hell? Where's Purdue?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay. I'm like, nah, I don't know that.
Couldn't tell you. But those are apparently like 3 really good ag schools. So I did pick ag schools, and then I looked at cheerleading programs from there.
Sure.
So the idea is that Michigan State, hard requirements. Ohio State, I felt like it was doable.
Okay. Yeah.
So tried out, made the team. It was very intense. It was horrifying and scary. Just the tryout process is very rigorous because college cheerleading is a very competitive thing.
I think I've seen it like a Netflix documentary.
Yeah.
What was it called? Like a few years ago?
It was like,
is that accurate?
It's called Cheer, and it was, it was like very much to a T. Like it fit the vibe. It was like very much like we're taking cheerleading very, very seriously, and you will not sleep at night because you're so worried about your routines and so forth.
Okay.
So anyway, so I make the Ohio State team, go to Ohio State. To my surprise, when we go to cheer camp, because even at the college level, you have cheer camps where like all the other surrounding schools go to, like the Big Ten's there, all these other schools. And I see Michigan State, which no shade to Michigan State. I love you. I love you, Michigan State. Their cheerleaders were not at the requirements that they had set forth, which also I didn't look into more than just reading like the list of requirements. So if you're ever applying for a job and you're like, oh, these are the requirements, you don't have to have the requirements to get said job.
And that's just like the ideal, the dream requirements.
Yes.
Okay.
So it turns out I had made the harder to make team.
Okay. Flex.
And then I got cut because I sucked.
Flex.
So I did 2 years of like being an athlete, getting the glamorous treatment.
They cut you after 2 years of being on the team? What?
It was a slow decline into my time.
You're just like a veteran at that point. Are you like the senior? I don't know how I don't know how those words work here.
Well, it was fine.
This needs a Netflix spinoff.
It was honestly because I had debated not trying out because I was not having a good time. I was having a horrible time. Loved the people though. The people were amazing and great. Was having a horrible time. And I was like, I can't picture myself living through this. But of course, me being like, God forbid someone like ask or question why I'm like no longer a scholar athlete and why I'm not cheering at the football games, because like people from my hometown very much like, oh my God, we have this one girl that she went to this school and she gets to be at the football games.
You're like the hero.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Like it was a big deal for whatever reason because we value football around here.
Country songs about that. There's a song about
probably.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I love this. This is different for me.
Anyway, so then I was like, no, I have to do this. And then I was cut and I was like, there was like a instant relief in the moment of getting cut that where I was like, I can have a life again.
The pressure's
the pressure was gone. And then I had my first 2 years of being an athlete and getting like the weird athlete treatment at colleges, like, because they do treat you different when you're an athlete. You get free things. It's weird.
Okay.
Not like,
no, I know what you mean. It's just hard. Like I don't know the right word. The culture, like I know, because the only way I know this is because like my husband, Andy, he went to Texas State on scholarship for 4 years. And like, it's just different. And it's like such a, like, you're a big fucking deal if you're, whatever, sports, but like, okay, what was in school for like learning?
Yeah. One would think,
like that's an American thing for sure. I mean, sports are also sick over up north, but
I'm not into sports. That is the thing. Like, and then people are like, "Oh my gosh, the Buckeyes this that." I'm like, I haven't watched a game in years.
The Bucks.
But yeah, so got cut, had 2 years of enjoying my life. So it was nice to have two experiences, but both of them away from the farm. And then I graduated, came back to the farm to be a farmer for the rest of my life.
And was that all, like, even in school, did that waver? Were you like, you know what, I'm considering maybe I could go this route? You were always like, no, like, I'm doing this, I'm getting it, I'm going back with this education. That was it. Solid, rock solid.
100%.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I loved the city life though. Like the city life was for me, it was a hard transition back to the farm of like, I no longer have Uber Eats. You can't Uber anywhere.
Right.
Back to Walmart.
Back to Walmart. Yeah, that's rough. This isn't important, but it is to me real quick. So I just feel like the cheerleading thing I need to touch on because I'm just like so mesmerized by it. And not to be a dick, but like it's a sport. I actually genuinely am asking that. It's considered a sport, cheerleading. So I am not a dick. I do not mean to be rude, but like what?
No. So like I wouldn't consider like if you're at a football game and you see like a cheerleader on the side, like that's not
like two sports happening at the same time. There's football and cheer.
No, not at all.
Okay,
no.
I'm like I'm getting my brain.
So like at the high school level, there's high school cheer, and that's where you're on the side on a Friday night, and you're like,
that's not a sport. I'm doing the thing where I cut you off where you were saying you were going to do.
Yes. And this is all in my opinion. Like other people would have a different opinion from me. And yes, I understand like on Friday night, you might be doing the exact same things you're doing in a competition. However, like there's a different element. So in college, you're stacking people up, you're flipping around, and then you go to nationals where you compete.
Right. You're being scored for what you're doing versus.
Yes. Versus like at the games, no one's looking at you. It's you're there to be fanfare and to like be a distraction, not a distraction, like
hype.
But you're there to like keep the energy up. Right. But it's it's two different, like you have two different jobs to do. And then also in college, we were also the like what would you call that? Like they would tout us around and it was like, here's Brutus and the cheerleaders. And we'd show up to
mascot,
and we would show up to events and we'd be ambassadors to the university. So those were kind of the three buckets of like ambassador to the university, you're showing up at games, woo woo, and then there's like the competition.
That's kind of a lot. That's a lot. Like how often did you practice? This is turning into literally
every single day. We got Wednesdays off of practice, but then also we had lifting on top of that. Plus like football games were a full day. And then we also cheered basketball games. I cheered a swim meet. We cheered volleyball games, wrestling events. Like,
so when did you go to school?
Listen, my first 2 years, it was literally like I didn't make friends in my ag programs. I made all of my friends with the cheerleaders because I spent literally 24/7 with these people. It was you're either in class sleeping. I would fall asleep in class because I'd be so tired, or you were doing homework, or you were at practice. Like I did not have like do not think like college ragers. Like I was not at them. I was sleeping and or actively doing cheer.
Wildly
things.
Unsustainable.
Yeah, not a great time. But also I got like awesome opportunities. Like I met cool people. I got my picture taken with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like just random.
We didn't open with that.
That sounds so much cooler than it was.
I would like that photo, please, for my show notes.
Honestly, I looked ugly in that picture.
I want it, and I want
I'll try to find it.
Viral butt video because I gotta know. I need both side by side. Okay, that's wild. I just am so fascinated by that because it's like Canada is not far from the U.S. Obviously, but like there's just so many little differences and large differences. That's an office. But cheer is one. I think there is some in Canada, but it's not like the same.
Yeah.
And I feel like the way cheer is so prominent or it seems to me in the States is the equivalent of like, I don't want to be a fucking stereotype, but also hockey for us. Like people are fucking obsessed with hockey.
Yeah.
Everyone does hockey. I'm saying hockey really weird.
Hockey.
Might be wrong. I don't have the statistics, but that's very fascinating to me. And I feel like as potentially devastating as it was to get cut initially, it sounds like a good thing and happy for you that you did get to experience like actual school and maybe then you could make friends in your what the fuck school class grade.
Yeah.
What degree?
I think people would say degree.
Whatever.
My college,
in your same program.
Yes, program. I networked, baby.
Networked. Took me 2 years, but I'm here.
Took me 2 years, but
What's
I
up?
did end up showing up, talking to people. But yeah, no, honestly, and also it's good to face adversity. It's good to get knocked down a peg, and I was. And you know what? I'm happy it happened.
Because you're a better person, or stronger and better and wiser.
And prettier. And cooler. And
you met Arnold, so like you can just flex on me all day with that one because I love Arnold. Arnold's the best. What was the point of that?
I don't know.
This is the tangent.
My God.
We had a pre-talk.
I went to college.
Went to college. But the point of that is we're circling back that you had all these experiences, but the whole time it was, yes, we're still keeping the same goal, which is, I think, kind of rare. I think that in a good way. I'm not like, that's rare. It's I think impressive, or it just shows that you were like, you're determined. I'm going to do it. That's great. I'm unwavering it. I'm coming home. I'm going to fucking do this.
See, but then also late at night, I'll be like, was that the safe choice?
Fair.
Did I know that I had this to fall back on?
And that's on anxiety enters the chat at 2 a.m. Sure. Okay. So there's still like, you're human. There's some questions that maybe sometimes you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, just like, was this the safe plan? And then also like, I'm a woman in ag, and you're also a woman in ag. And
Correct.
I always wonder, like, my experience growing up and being on the farm running tractors, everyone was like, that's so cool. You're breaking stereotypes. And then a little part of me is like, did I get validation from breaking stereotypes? Is this what drove me? Just because
and now my brain is wired to like, I must have this.
Yeah. And then was it positive reinforcement that made me enjoy this? But no, I do. Really
No, it wasn't that deep. It wasn't that fucking serious.
I love corn.
No, I love it. I did while we're touching on that, like, cause that's what you grew up in. And again, 8 effing generations. You are the 8th. Yes, correct. Sorry, generations trip me out. When you think about them too hard. Yeah. Math, it's numbers and stuff. I didn't go to fucking Ohio State, so I didn't do math and cheer and stuff. I'm not smart. I'm not valedictorian. So on that topic, so growing up and that's all you knew, did you feel like, obviously Mickey, he's a star. Seeing him, and obviously I have not had the pleasure of meeting him, nor like I literally met you like 7 seconds ago. And you are who you are on the internet, which is wild and also amazing. But I also now think that obviously Mickey and the vibe he gives off, your dad, did we say that? Your dad's name is Mickey. I just started spelling.
Mickey's my dad.
Yeah, I just started spelling shit. The point of that is that I feel like he also is, I want to believe, is the same as how I perceive it. And he seems like you guys have a very special relationship and bond. And I just feel like he seems like such a good daddy. And I'm saying daddy weird, and I hate that, and I'm deleting that because I hate that. He seems like such a good dad. And did you always feel like, is it true? Is he a good dad? You're in the hot spot.
Oh my
now.
goodness.
Confirmed?
Yeah, no, he's the best dad ever. I feel bad for other people that don't have my dad.
Okay, that's it. Flex.
But
flex.
No, he's fantastic and amazing. My mom, I love you too. My mom's so supportive. She will listen to this 6 times. And then
what is your mom's name? Because I'm going to give her
Susan.
Susan.
But Susan just doesn't show up on here because I was like, boundaries. We're only going to show farm life. And my dad obviously partakes in farm life. My mom does not partake in farm life. She's very supportive. She will give me a ride here and there throughout the season. Like, she will drop off food for me. If I'm like, Mom, I haven't eaten a meal.
Mom,
help me. So she's supportive in other ways that is not just showing up on the farm every day.
Right. Or like, and it's social media is only like, that's not what's actually happening.
But then people are like, what's happened to your mother? Because I don't show her. But yeah.
Mom doesn't want to be on TikTok.
Susan's fantastic. But yes, Dad is the star. Because he's here and the internet loves him. But yeah, Mickey's Mickey. He's
so
the best.
When I think more, was there ever growing up for you though, that, cause it's like, oh, you're breaking stereotype. Was that something that was, what's the word? Like, were you aware that what you were doing was going against the norm? Or did you feel like, were your parents always like, yeah, this is normal. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, your capabilities, I don't question, absolutely go out and,
I think,
do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think it was definitely that. It was definitely, I also like, my brother and I, like, it was very much like we did the same things. And so like, I don't know. I think maybe just having an older brother, I did nature things. Not that nature and farming is the same thing. He's like very much an outdoorsy, looking at the plants, looking at the birds person. And so I was just along for the ride on that. And then, but my parents were like, because there was this 8th generation, there's this like pressure to come back to the farm. My parents very much didn't push any of us towards it. And like, I kind of found it, because they didn't want to like, not encourage it. Like they weren't like, hey, you have to farm. It was very much like I asked to get into some of the things because I was trying to make that bag. And they're like, yeah, cool. And then like when I was like, hey, I really want to do this, they were very much more they were the more hesitant ones of like, you don't have to. Are you sure you still want to do this? And then like when we like, so I was an employee of my dad for a few years, and then we formed an LLC and we became partners. And like, during that, like the whole time, they were very much like, you don't have to do this. Are you sure? Why are you doing this? Are you sure? So they were actually the ones that were kind of more like, not hesitant, but they were very much like, you can get out of this if you don't want to do this.
Right. Like they didn't want to make you feel like you were trapped in this is
Yes.
take over. This is what you must do.
Yeah.
Oh,
So no, they were great there. And then I was like, do you guys think I shouldn't? Why are you guys bringing this up? But yeah.
So like in general, as their child, that's how it went. But I mean, like, also, do you feel like you were growing up doing these things? Or and when I say growing up, I mean like up until literally now, whatever, treated differently from them because we're a girl versus a boy? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, did you feel the stereotype back then? Do you know what I mean?
Not from my parents. Now,
Right.
Like my dad will say like funny things of just like, oh, well, a guy could blah, blah, blah. Like when he's saying like, a guy could go about doing this, like a guy could go pick up a water. And when he says a guy, he means me. Like it's just him saying like, oh, a guy could do this or that. And then also my dad very much will be like, oh, you can't lift that up, or like you shouldn't lift that up. But he's coming from a place of he has destroyed his body.
Right.
And so he's like, work smarter, not harder.
Right.
Like, but then I take it as like, oh, you don't think I can pick this up? I'm going to pick it up twice. I'm going to pick it up on video.
And it will hurt. I won't tell you though.
I will pull my back.
I will be sore tomorrow. But also, okay, king energy, because love that. But it's also that reaction, like same. I'm like the watch me type kind of like, because I just think that that's just how society in general has conditioned us, that like we feel like we have to flex because like you're fucking doubting me. Dad's not doubting you, but like I know, same reaction, like pardon. And if anyone else said that to you, there'd be hands. Yeah, hands would be thrown.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I love that, because that's what I was curious about. Yeah. So, and you have 2 siblings. You said they were not interested in the farm.
No,
they're not here. They were like, bye. I'm gonna go do something different.
They were like, goodbye. We're going to other states. We will come back for Christmas.
Okay. I love that. And then, so then you actually, didn't you, what is it? You bought your dad out?
Yes. And by bought, like, I have so many loans. Like I don't, sometimes I feel like bought implies like, I don't know.
Just swimming in cash.
I am in massive debt. And my dad gave me breaks like here and there. Like he gave me a good deal on the equipment. And also when you say like, oh, because I kind of don't know what my wording should be. Like I bought the farming operation, right, if you will, because we formed an LLC that included our equipment, our inputs, and then like I bought. So we were partners, and I bought my dad's half of his grain inventory out, because you don't sell that in a calendar year. You sell that after it's harvested and then throughout the year. Okay. So I own and I have loans for the equipment, these other assets, and then like quote unquote the farm. My dad still owns the ground. And I cash rent the ground from him. So I own the farming operation. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I say. Cause I think I've definitely just been like, oh, I own the farm. But the farm is the business. The farm isn't the dirt.
Right. And for some, obviously some people will get confused that don't fully understand that. And it's just easier to say that. But it's still like not undermining, like you are, I think, undermining the, what's the word? Like that's impressive and quite an accomplishment. And you're like, how old are you? You just turned
So yeah, I'm
27 and a half.
28 and a half.
28 and a half.
So yeah, I bought the farm out at 26 years old, which does sound insane. Because I'm a little baby.
It does sound insane.
Yeah.
But that's badass.
Yeah. And it's very much the opposite of what normally happens in farming, where it's like the one person holds on to the reins for forever. And then it's like that person like dies or is incapable of farming anymore. And then that next generation takes over at like age 50. And my dad was very much like, peace out, I'm gone. But like by peace out, I'm gone. He's here every single day.
He's here. I love that. Showing up for TikTok videos.
Yeah.
We love
showing
that.
up, showing out.
We love that.
But
so, because like you said, like traditionally, typically it doesn't usually, the transition doesn't normally happen this way. So how has the transition been?
It has been good. And also not to just keep bragging about my dad,
flex on that,
but
Mickey.
like, you know, there's some transition time, and like, yes, we were partners for years. So people got like used to me being around and everything. And everyone knew we were partners. And like when I took over, my dad made very much a point, like whenever anyone called him, like, cause like we have lots of people, we buy different things from, like, you know, we have our seed companies, we have our chemical companies, we have different reps for different things. And like every time he was like, you need to talk to the boss, you need to be talking to Zoe about this. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Send it to Zoe. And so he was very good at setting boundaries for me with people of being like, you got to talk to her, which and by talk to her, this is like when people call him and I hate talking on the phone. I'm like, no, like really talk to dad. I'll just write the check. Dad will figure it out.
Yeah. Like the principle I love. Yes, I am the boss, but also like socially, like I don't actually want to talk.
Yes.
So can this be an email? Thank you.
And like also, so my dad has a lot of health situations going on. He can't help a lot physically, but he wants to show up and he wants to help. And so then I'm like, please do all the talking, like talk to all of the vendors, do that. And then so sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I should be heading that up, but it's good to delegate. And the man wants to help. He wants to
let the man help.
He wants to do things. I'll let him take every phone call.
That's amazing. And then, so did you get any, or do you still, obviously not from your supportive king and queen parents, but the fact that the farm is being, you know, it's always farmer and sons. Like the barns always say fucking Kent and Sons. Yes. And then, you know, it gets, I'm still talking like this because that's the fucking stereotype. And it's not just stereotype, it's like kind of real also, which is a whole other beast. But anyway, it always gets handed down to the son. Do you get shit or
all the time,
pushback, flack, whatever the word is?
Absolutely. No one believes me when I say like I own the farm. But then, and they're a little bit right, because hear me out. I was born into this farming operation. I didn't do anything to build it up there was this thing that I just happened to be born into. And like my dad, he grew the business from his dad. And like, yes, I would love to like make it my own thing. But I recognize that like I'm not a first generation farmer in any sense of the way. So I don't feel a sense of accomplishment there. And like also when you say like, oh, like you bought out the business, this is a huge thing. I'm like, yeah, but like my dad let me, like not let me, but like it happened for me a little bit. It wasn't me. Like on my social media pages, I'm like, I built this. This is cool. I made this. I don't feel like I made this farm. I've made it my own in certain ways, but like, I didn't build the foundation. And so then like I'll make a video and be like, my tractor this, my tractor that. And people would be like, that's your dad's tractor. And then they'll be like, well, that's your daddy's money. Your daddy made this for you. And they always say daddy, because like no one, daddy is either sexualized or it's there's like a weapon, or weaponized,
insult, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so then they'll be like, well, this is daddy's money. And I'm like, well, technically daddy paid me for years. And then
not that it's in your fucking business. Sorry.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, he paid me this money and then I'm using this money to buy this piece of equipment off of him. So I'm paying daddy back for this.
We've just stopped calling daddy.
I know.
It's
it's really bad. It's really bad. All that to say that, yes, I do get a lot of crap. But also like, I think I'm like yes, I also agree with you.
I think I do appreciate how you are absolutely like acknowledging the level of privilege that you have and have had in being where you are now. But at the same time, I think you deserve a lot more credit than you're giving yourself. And you are definitely don't give in to those people, because
I do want to push back, but I'm like trying to
it's just avoid. I know.
Compliments.
Yes. Yeah, I know. It's so hard.
Really, everything in me is like, I'm gonna be like,
you,
no,
stop it.
I'm not. I
hate
know,
it.
this is all bad.
But I know we're the same person because I'm the same. So take this fucking compliment. No, but really, because it's so easy to get sucked in the way of thinking of how that I didn't do this. Okay, you didn't build the foundation, but you've been, where would it be without you the last X many years, however effing old you are, you know what I mean? You're 12, whatever, in the best way. She's like, youth. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to give yourself more credit, and you have been building the business, and it's in a very non-traditional way also that you've been building it, because yes, videos on the internet, like not directly, you know what I mean? They're not, what the fuck am I trying to say?
Yeah.
It's just you're taking things also in a different way. Like everything you're doing is circling back and benefiting Kent Farms.
Yeah. Yeah.
In some way also. And it's just like a non-traditional way that you're also on top of what you're already doing. So I would say you're doing the most. You know what I mean? Like you're going to be back in your fucking great, what is it? Like 12 generations from now, you know what I mean? It'll be like, Zoe, she fucking great grandma Zoe, she was fucking making videos and sending the drone up, and she'd revolutionized the business.
Back when we had that Facebook, there was this thing back in the day.
You know what I mean? So I just want you to have more credit, okay? Because you're doing amazing. And I also think though that's like a culture thing where you're living and being more immersed in that environment where you would feel that way. So it's valid. I'm saying it is so totally valid to feel that way, but also like you are killing it. So don't you forget that. Okay? Don't forget that.
Thank you.
That's one thing I wanted to say. And you didn't have, again, with the transition though, like, so siblings, bro and sis, they were like, I'm out of here. Was there any animosity with like, oh, I'm planning on taking over, like whatever. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Is that...
So there were a lot of conversations to be had. And like as recently as like last year, like after, what was that? Whenever.
What day is it?
Whenever. When I like, because my siblings knew that my dad and I were forming this partnership, and there was conversations there, and they were all like, my brother and my sister both, like, luckily we're all like similar ages. And it's because I think sometimes it's like, this is going to be the plan. And then there's a younger sibling that decides they want to come back to the farm.
Right.
And like, for me, like, there's no part of me that imagines that either of my siblings are going to like decide to come back. Just because they both have careers that they're super passionate about.
Yeah, they're happy
and like I think they are happy that I'm doing the farming. They're happy to see the farm continue. They're happy that they don't have to do it,
and that they don't have the pressure of like, okay, it's being carried on, and it's like
yes,
it ain't me.
Yeah, and like, and also our farm, it supports me full time. I have one mostly full time employee. Had we all decided to come back to the farm, it would have had to been like, okay, we're also going to get other incomes, and like, because the farm wouldn't supported 3 people coming back.
Right.
So it was that like a pretty beautiful setup for me that worked out nicely. Thank you, Cody and Kenzie.
Thank you. Shout out. Honestly, like, just love your family dynamic, and like, you just have very supportive and awesome people in your life, and like, Tanner's a king.
Tanner's the best.
Like,
and like that
energy.
Like, so like I do keep the boundaries, and like there are days that I'm like, I just want to show him off because like he's the best, but like I don't want him to get all of the hate of the internet. And he's like, leave me out of this.
Like golden retriever energy.
He's the best.
The best. On that. So yeah, your boundaries are something I think I've noticed that you're very, what's the word? Really good with. And I think it seems like you have a very healthy balance with that. Cause yeah, like I did not know Tanner existed straight up to like, oh, what's up? I'm engaged. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, most people didn't know. Because like also like had you known, that means that you like, there was literally one time I posted a picture of him for literally 10 seconds. And it's not that I was hiding him.
No, it's just
not at all that I was hiding him. It was just like, we're going to keep the folks on the farm. And then people like, I think people build up an image of like, I know this person. And then you kind of, you make connections in your head so that aren't there.
Yeah.
Except for you're exactly who I thought you were going to be.
Honestly, same. And
So
thank you. I mean, I hope that's a compliment. I don't know.
No, I do get like, I feel like you're one of the first people that's like, I've met you on the internet first before I've met you in real life.
Correct. Internet. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So then it's like a just kind of different way. Cause then sometimes you'll meet someone in real life and then you'll look at their social media and you'll be like, oh, I didn't picture you.
Yeah.
This,
So you've
this way.
seen, exactly. Like the most unhinged. Yeah. At my worst, I guess, if you will, or my best. So I think boundaries are super important. Like Andy doesn't care. He doesn't like have interest in it. Some days he's like, I do not. But other days he's like, all right, let's give the people what they want. But like, I won't show my kids, whatever, lots of boundaries. But
no, I think that's great. And I wish more people had more about like, and I'm not shading them. I'm not shading them at all. But like people come to me for advice all the time. Like people have asked me like, hey, I want to do this. Like, and I just encourage people to like, think about like, okay, like for it to be sustainable and not feel like you're, what's the word when you're making people do things for you?
Cut this part out.
Exploiting. I don't want anyone in my life to feel like they're being exploited. I do exploit my dad.
He knows it. He's cool with it.
But he's very chill with it. And so it's like, I don't want anyone to feel like I'm exploiting things. And like when I posted my engagement, not to keep bringing it up, but I was like, it was very much like an ethical dilemma because I wanted to share it because I was like so happy. And I was like, milestone, like I want all the compliments. Like honestly, like I do. I want all the compliments. Yeah. I want everyone to see that I got this rock on my hand. I'm taking. Yes. And I also thought I do have some creepy old men that follow me. Maybe this will make them chill out.
It did opposite?
I don't know.
Okay. Did it chill them out?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm hoping that they left, but I didn't look to see if people unfollowed me. I'm sure there were unfollows after an engagement because like, no, honestly, because
they thought they had a shot.
Yeah. in some realm, they thought like maybe somehow I would like, I would see that they had liked one thing ever in, something would happen. I don't know.
Their fantasy was ruined.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so like I wanted to post it because I thought it kind of might help me. But then I like had these conversations with Tanner because I was like, I don't want you to feel like I'm exploiting you by posting this vulnerable moment between us. And he was like, yeah, go for it. But then I also knew, and this is the business part of my head. I'm like, the engagement will draw engagement on my post. And yeah, I got a whole bunch of likes. I got a whole bunch of comments. And then I got racism, which was weird.
Likes, comments, and racism.
Which just because it is 2023. I need to step on this like very lightly. I know there's racism out there. I didn't think racism was going to happen to me because Tanner's white. Like I just, you think of your engagement, you don't think someone's going to tell you that you shouldn't date or marry outside of your race.
It's not fun. That's not funny. The situation is funny.
It's horrifying. Like, and I do have people of other races in my family. And then like for them to reach out to me and be like, sorry, you're experiencing racism is like, oh my gosh. Because so Tanner golfs a lot. His name is Tanner. He is Tanner right now.
Tan boy.
Like, because he's outside, he gets a really real thick tan going on. Apparently one person mistook his race and just assumed that I was marrying outside of my race and was very mad about it. And so then like I had to tell the people, I had to rally the troops.
I was on that so fast.
I was like, everyone report this man, which means when I tagged him so that people would have easy access into reporting him, that meant he got to be into my messages where he sent very alarming things, very scary things before I had like, it was like 30 seconds before I hit that block button. But yeah, I don't know.
The way it just went so south for you.
So south.
So it was just a glorious moment. And it was like racism. Okay. I wasn't expecting that today.
But, and all that to say, like I did get the comments that I was expecting to get. He doesn't look like a farmer, which is so funny because I don't look like a farmer.
Surprise, full circle.
But no one said that about me, which they have in other videos for sure. But like I was wearing a pretty dress. I was like wearing some sandals, and I got multiple comments of like, oh my gosh, you can't wear white shoes on a farm. That man doesn't look like a farmer. We were in a city. He was wearing a suit. Had he not worn a fancy outfit, had he worn like some beat up jeans and some boots, that would have that wasn't the vibe of the
They would have
thing.
found something else. Then you would have been attacked. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they just need something.
And people were like, I just can't believe you didn't get engaged at the farm, which is like, had you known me in real life, and I've set myself up for this. My page is farming. Everything's all things farming. So then when I'm on vacation, I'm not at the farm. People are like, oh, you've left the farm.
They lose their damn
Who
minds.
are you? Are you never coming back? People asked if I was moving to the city to be with him. People asked like where I was moving to. Like it was like, we went on a trip. We happened to get engaged on that trip. I'll still be at the farm. I promise.
I can leave the farm.
I can like, and it's
any
like
your business.
like in my free time, I'm not talking about farming. I love farming. I'm passionate about farming. I'm not talking all things farming all the time. Like I have other interests.
You're a human? Oh my God. You should change your handle. Life with Zoe.
No, actually,
That's
no.
probably
So someone did comment and they were like, your account's farm with Zoe. I only want to see farming content. And I was like, bro, like
it's the entitlement that.
But then people are mad that I hadn't been sharing Tanner. And I'm like, well, you either get the farming content or you get the life. Like it's like people have opinions no matter what. This is not an original
You're not gonna
idea.
Win.
No,
you're not going to win. But yeah, I don't know why it still surprises me. Like I don't know why. I don't know why I'm always. Why do I want to give people a benefit of the doubt? Like, why would it surprise me that there would be racism on your engagement photo? It's so the way that people are, I don't know if they're miserable, bored, projecting, whatever. It's just that they think that you're a human being, but like you're going to comment something like that to another person. Like, and you're cool with that. Like you're cool with your words that you just typed out for what, to what end? Like, what is this accomplishing? I'm so mad right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, I think like, I just can't wait for 30 years from now when I'm 100 years old. And, there's like research done on like, because like we do, like I know I follow people that I've never met in real life. I have this whole image of what their life looks like. We already had this conversation, but I'm having it again. They have this whole idea of what your life looks like. And then when you do something that doesn't align with what they pictured it as, their minds explode.
Yeah. And it's wild because they form this like parasocial relationship with you, but you don't know that because there's however many what do you have 100,000 on Instagram? 100,000, whatever. A lot of them. Mm-hmm. And they all think that they have this like, okay, no, they're not they all. I'm not alienating anyone because they're not the followers. They're not all
bad because you're one of them, right?
Yeah, that's right. There's a good one. There's one. But so not generalizing it. I'm not like totally like pooping on followers because if we didn't have them, we would not have the platform, right? But Correct. It's like I just think that they in some of them have this unhealthy parasocial sense of entitlement where they think that it's okay to. They have this like access to you and your life and to what that vision is. And that they think that like, that's it. Like I get to know all of this and I'm mad about it. And I'm going to tell you about it, even though you do not know I exist.
Yes.
But you are everything. This is so weird. You know what I mean?
And it's like, if you're listening to this right now and you're like, oh my goodness, are they talking to me? Let's reflect.
Were the vibes creepy?
Those are the people I'm scared of.
Yeah.
Those are the people I'm scared of. There is a more likelihood that you get blocked if you say something, because if you're just a creep that's never said anything, I'm not going to find you. You know, it's the people that out themselves that then get the boot.
That they're so bold as to like, that they think, oh, I'm going to cross this line.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's hard. And are you pretty comfortable with your block button then? Like that's kind of.
I love the block button. There was like, when I was first building my pages and it was like, oh, I'm going to hit 500 followers. And there's like one creepy person there. I'm like, oh, if I block them, then I'm at $4.99.
It's a mind fuck,
and it's like, but like, if you're a person that cares about building a community, you want to have quality over quantity. And there are people that, and I don't consider myself to have a big account. Like
I do. Again, toot your horn.
Okay. But like there are people that have much smaller accounts that get many more benefits out. They have much more engaged community that they love. Followers don't equal community. Hence my Facebook.
Correct. Hell over there. It's evil. It's evil. Community. So then it is your priority with your social media is obviously more of wanting that community versus like, I'm just going to grow this account as big as I can. Like that ain't it.
Yeah. Yes.
Like what is your I don't know what we say, priority or like.
Yeah, no. So
with
like why are you doing it?
Yeah. Like what? Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm very transparent about this. So number one, my top priority originally when I started this was I want to find community with other people out there that are farmers, because like when I came back to the farm after college, it was very much, I was hanging out with my dad and I was hanging out with people that were 60-year-old plus, and they were at the end of their careers and like, they weren't motivating me, and I didn't feel like I could relate because they knew everything. And I was still a young little caterpillar who didn't know anything. And I was like, there have to be other people out there that look like me, that have the same things as me, that I can connect with. And I truly did find that on TikTok. I found you. I found many, and it doesn't just have to be like women in agriculture. Like I found people that I connected with, that I related with on there. So find community for myself was goal number one.
Right.
And then I found that like I wasn't getting anything out of social media until I started posting on social media, because also like I didn't even know what, like, do you consider yourself like a farm talker?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
So I didn't even know there was like any farm related things. I didn't know there were cows on the internet. Like obviously I knew that they were, but I never saw them.
Right.
So I started finding people in agriculture once I started posting on agriculture, and then like I found my people. So first up, find my community. Second up, teach people about agriculture, because so like when I was at Ohio State and I was like with all my cheerleader friends, a lot of them did not have any agriculture background. And so they thought it was super cool that I was a farmer, and they had like the basicest questions, and like they weren't stupid. I'm not saying like they didn't know anything.
No,
like,
but they had no education in the most respectful way. They just lack of education. In that.
Like I don't know things that they do at all. And so like I found it very easy to like on very basic terms speak about agriculture. And like in that day, it was just like me Snapchatting my friends, and they like ate it up. And I was like, so I knew there was something there if I wanted to pursue it.
Right.
And like with my friend telling me that like I should do this, I was like, okay, like I can, like my shtick can be talking about agriculture. So find community and then educate people about agriculture. And then a brand reached out and was like, hey.
Slid in the DMs.
And as you know, I'm always trying to get that bag.
That's the theme. Get that bag is the title of this episode.
And that's when like the brain really started twisting. And then I was like, okay, like I need to be ethical and moral first.
Right. Fair.
I need to keep my values strong.
But get that money.
But when the opportunity arises and the stars align and what I believe in aligns with what a brand aligns with, and they want me to promote their project that I probably would already be promoting anyway without money, when they want to slide some money my way, I'm like, yes, girl, come over here.
Yes.
So find community, teach people about agriculture, and then monetize.
Which like, and then it is good to be transparent about it, because it's like, I don't think anyone, I mean, some people are probably trying to hide it, but like, let's be honest, like that is maybe not the main goal of social media, but like if you do get that community, like that is a lovely side effect.
Yes.
Opportunity. Like, and your followers will understand that you're doing that, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And like back in the day, like when I saw other people, like I knew that like monetization was a thing. Like we were not the original influencers. I knew that was like a possibility. when I saw people post things and were like, it's just like really hard and it's time consuming. And so like, I have to make money doing this. Like, I was kind of like, this took you time. And now I'm like, oh, I've spent way too many hours on this. It'd be horrifying to track how many hours I've spent on my phone just looking at things. But yeah, like it does take time. And like what I'm saying is like I'm on Facebook. People bully me on Facebook. Right now in my life, I'm willing to be bullied to get that bag.
That's where we're at. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's a nice, you might as well. And I think once you have that community established and it's like based off of also trust and they know you, it's like I personally as a consumer and a follower of somebody, unless it's something that I'm like, this is so not you, dude.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'm like, get that bag. Like I will interact. I don't care do what you want. Like, yes, because we all are just trying to get that bag.
Yeah.
And survive.
Yeah. And I've turned, like I want to tell people this, like, I'm a good person. Like I've turned down brand deals of like things that like simply would not make sense in my life. And I've also turned down brand deals. Like I'm absolutely like brands are not coming to me every day. Like this is like, I'm talking about like 10 total brand deals, like probably. But I've had people come to me and they're like, oh, promote this product. I'm like, I love that product. It doesn't make sense on this page because I've made this a farming account. People would be really weirded out when I started promoting skincare, which I did end up doing. But
I mean, no, I get that. But then it's also hard because like I personally am thinking that too, or I'm kind of in the middle of that because it's like, I am trying to not be in a specific niche and be more of like, I'm also a person and I do like skincare. Holla at me if you want to be, slide into my DMs for skincare brands. But so it is hard because looking at it as a business, yes, you're like, I don't want to do anything that's going to question that brand trust, your own brand trust with your audience, but still get that bag. So there's a fine line.
yeah.
And this is early. There's no history books on this shit or how to do it. We do not know what we're doing. We are the pioneers. I'm not. I mean, I am not. We are generations into it, but we are part of the maiden voyage, I would say. Nobody knows what the fuck is happening.
Oh, no. Like, yeah, no. People, I think this is still the wild, wild west.
Yes. There's no laws. It doesn't feel like it in my comment section. I'll tell you that much. That does not feel like there's any governing body in there. But I did want to add just how I think for me personally, being in the egg space, like you said, it was like, I didn't know that people were out there that were doing stuff like me and the cookie cutter influencer, no offense, no shade to cookie cutter influencing, whatever, y'all are different, but it's all the same essentially because it's like, I was always just so used to seeing the same. It's skincare, it's whatever, like lifestyle, that's fine. But it's so refreshing to find people that are in the egg space that are doing like monetizing and doing brand deals. And it's really cool because you have had several brand deals that are like very specific to egg also. And that's so cool. It's refreshing to just find influencers, but that are doing different things. So it's just like representation and it just gives motivation, I think, to other people that want to do it because you can do it. It's just, the egg space I feel like we're a little behind. Do you know what I mean? Like the brands, like I feel like they're not taking advantage of what they could be taking advantage of right now. Like I think they're behind on the TikTok and the Insta game, like the influencer marketing. I think they should step it up. Just shout out to egg related fucking brands. Some are killing it, but I do think like there are a lot of farm people on platforms that like could be promoting your shit. And I think you should get on that. Okay. Mm-hmm. They're probably watching me right now, specifically.
So I'm on social media for good things, not for fame, because I do get that a lot. The comment of like you're seeking attention, which like yes, I'm a middle child. Like I'm always trying to find some attention.
That's why I'm also a middle child. So this is why this is another reason this is
why this is working.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, and it's not like I want people to like see me in the streets. Like I'm not trying to. I don't want like it scares me when like we talked about this earlier today. Like I'm putting my stuff out there, but then it's like then someone's like, oh, I watched your video, and then I'm like, oh no, I wish you hadn't. Mm-hmm. So it's like I want everyone to see it, but I want absolutely no one to see it.
Do not ever look at it. Do not tell me about it. Also, just back to you're doing this for attention. Okay. Do you know premise of social media also, like you post something and someone reacts to it. Literally like, get out of here. Sean, do you know a Sean? I don't know. I'm just calling this person Sean. Fuck off, Sean. Sorry.
I don't think I know a single
So
Sean.
yeah, you can't win. You cannot win. So as long as you're staying true to your values, which I think that you are, I think you're on just like the right track, honestly.
Yeah. Just know, like when I start promoting like skinny tea, whatever, like I have lost my morals.
We will check in with you then.
Yes. This is like,
something's wrong.
give me one text. It's like, girl. It's the opposite.
You okay?
It's the opposite of like the MLM sign of girl. It's like the girl,
girl, please. Something's going on. Yeah, well, in general, obviously, I just love your vibe because I drove out to Ohio and just to come and see you and Lacey both. We did a whole, I didn't even do my whole American tour intro, but because it's not real. This is my second and final episode of the American tour. It's been a whirlwind 48 hours. But
can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, well, this is scary.
Is Ohio what you thought it was going to be?
Yes, but like it's probably not a compliment.
Hey,
yes,
we're on the same page.
Yes. I don't even know how to explain that further because I think I'm still processing it because I'm here. But I will say, like, where I currently am, which I will not name because privacy and safety, it feels like a wholesome location and I feel cozy here. I'm also like in the middle of a cornfield and I think that helps. I like it.
That's good. That's honestly like when we planned this, I was like just because I know I would be scared. And like Tanner and I were talking, and we're like, okay, like how do we like, because so like we're gonna go to dinner after this, and we like he was like, well, should I be gone? Like, would that be more scarier if there was like a man around? And I was like, no, I think we need to all go to dinner because like the last thing you want to do is like not meet someone and then you're trying to go to sleep at night and then like there's a man you haven't met sleeping in the room across from you. That's terrifying. So like we were very much like, how do we make her not scared?
I honestly appreciate that. And I feel very unscared. I feel very safe here. And also Tanner just with the golden retriever energy.
He's great.
He's great. He's so great. No, this has been awesome. And I had a bunch of notes and I actually think somehow we went on our own journey and we kind of hit what I wanted to hit.
Amazing.
And we kind of just popped off actually. So anything you wanted to like follow up on? Because I feel like we just covered so many branches.
I feel like we hit it all. Like
Can you still do the cheerleading things, tumblings and chompings and stuff?
So like if anyone knows tumbling, like I can still do a round back handspring like in the yard. But like every single time I do it, even if I do a forward roll. So I coach some like high school cheerleading and like we do very basic things there of like cartwheels and rolls and stuff. And like
I could never.
I was literally just showing a forward roll and the way I saw stars and like did not feel okay for maybe a half an hour after of like just like I think there's something that happens to your brain once you like hit a certain point. It's like roller coasters too. Like I can't do roller coasters anymore. Like my brain hurts when I roll over. But needless to say, if I have one cocktail in me and someone's like, do a back handspring, I'm doing it immediately. Do you feel the pain later? Oh, 1,000%. It feels like and if I took a moment to stretch, I'd probably be fine. It's the like whipping it, and I'm going to hurt myself at some point. And this doesn't happen like all the time. I'm just like saying if it did happen and it has happened, I need to like think before I flip.
I have no I've done cartwheels in my day, but like no like actual experience. So I don't have the muscle memory as it is to go back on. But like right now, if I did I know I would end up with something broken for sure. Strained.
You'd be checking out urgent care for the second time.
100%. Yes, I would. I would be seeing the inside of that because I couldn't do it. Yeah, I just like I'm very fascinated with cheerleading, cheering.
Yeah, all of the above.
Well, this has been Shorter Chats with Zoe Kent. I want to end it with just asking, because you didn't feel pressure to take over the farm. Do you feel pressure to continue it, like that you need to keep it going? Like if you decide, I don't know, like in 20 years, you're like, I'm tired, Grandpa. Are you know what the audio I'm talking about when I say that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Do you feel the pressure to continue to keep it going, like no matter what?
So like, I'm not worried about me in my lifetime, but like if I decide to retire, that means a next generation has to come on, which as of right now, I have one nephew on my side. Shout out to Tanner. He has 12 nieces and nephews.
Whoa.
I feel like, because one comment I get is like, well, there's not going to be a ninth generation if you don't pop up a kid tomorrow. And so I'm like, hey, guess what, guys? I have 13 chances. I got 13. I only need one of 13 people. I only need one of them. Like those are pretty good stats.
Those are good numbers.
I just need one of them to be interested. And then like the day they turn 18, peace out, goodbye. Not really, but like.
But it's a potential plan.
Like I do, like, yeah, no, I don't, my dad retired at 65, 66. I don't know how old you are. Sorry, Dad.
It's probably for the best.
But
right?
I'm not going to be the person that's like, I need to hold on to this forever. Like I look forward to retiring someday.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, again, you're doing amazing things. I'm looking around. I don't actually know what I'm looking at. Like this room is amazing. You're doing great. Doing great.
I did build these desks. So I felt it. I do feel an accomplishment, and I did build this. I built these desks.
This is good quality shit right here. This was a good build.
Thank you.
Well, this has just been a treat. And thanks so much for talking with me.
Once again, not to hype you up like so much, but like I freaking love this podcast. I have found my safe place. I've listened to every episode. I cannot wait for season 2 to drop. Like I'm now your number one fan. Actually, you should be scared that you're staying here because like I'm so obsessed with you and this pod.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
I'm nervous. Now I'm unsafe. I'm unsafe. SOS. Help me. No, I love it. And the feeling's mutual. So we're both going to be scared.
Okay.
Love it. Yay. Friendship.
Yay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.